We go. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Non-Classic. This episode number 29, 28, and ooh, 28, 22. So you have two trades here featuring series that feature character. Well, the concept of this group was created by Rob Liefeld. They don't feature an actual character. And this one does feature one character by Rob Liefeld. Well, actually, two of them. First up we have is X-Force by Ben Percy, Volume 8. I was going to wait until after I got basically... Now, last volume I reviewed for this series was Volume 5. I have three volumes because I think Volume 9 just came out. This sadly is the penultimate volume of the collect issues from this very volume for the series. Yep, this book collects issues from X-Force Volume, I believe it is Volume 6, issues 43 to 46. That's Dana Kuna's cover artwork there. Yep, with Robert Gill on the artwork. So, a lot of this book is focused on Colossus. Yes, basically the land for this group is interesting. For this version, we see Kid Omega. Yeah, he's part of the lineup too. And the artwork shows the fact that, oh yeah, the Thieves have got rear ends. Also, so here's the full lineup of this group. Of course, Wolverine is not part of this lineup here. It is, well, Laura McKinley, a.k.a. Wolverine. This is actually the time displaced version of her. Omega Red, Deadpool, Colossus, Kid Omega, Sage, and Domino. Of all these characters, two of whom are creations of Rob Liefeld, that being Domino and Deadpool. Colossus is a creation of Lean Ween. This version of Laura is created by Gary Duggan, but based on my version created by Chris Jones and Craig Kyle. Omega Red, I believe, is a Chris Claremont and Jim Lee creation. Kid Omega is the creation of Grant Morrison, and Sage is a creation of Chris Claremont. Yeah. Interesting lineup. And Wolverine is not here, so they're not dealing with Beast here. And then move on to the main book itself, where they're basically just dealing with other stuff. It's all focused on Colossus. And it's like this book, a lot of this book is set during the Hellfire Gala, but before the fall. Yes. We have the bartender being Dane Mandrix, who's back in his old Multiman costume. Yep, and this is during the actual fall. It's like, kind of in a way, these issues are kind of what X-Force was up to during the whole thing. So Hideout here, and then of course Colossus confronts his brother. And a lot of these issues are focused on Colossus himself. A lot, aside from the fact this deals with the whole Fall of X stuff. Looking for Mikkel, who is Colossus' evil brother. Yes. Yeah. It's mostly put exactly how X-Force themselves are dealing with the fall of the whole Fall of X stuff. That's kind of what these issues are. Along with basically the whole relationship between Colossus and his brother Mikkel. And that's really it here. That's kind of basically what we have going on here. But it's still a pretty good book nonetheless. I give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. Next up, we're going back to the late 2000s, actually early 2000s. We have Cable, The Shining Path. Yeah. That's the name of this. This collects issues 97 to 100 of Cable. Now, it's written by a writer who I personally I'm not, even when I read this, I was not familiar with his writing. It just, it's Cable. Okay? This is the writer. And you're like, who? David Tushman. Who? Artwork by Edgar Cordy. Yes. So mostly put the Shining Path as his new group who interacts with Cable. Now, Cable was still in the book with Irene, who he's kind of in a relationship with in this book. And for Cable, there's no time travel stuff here. He still got his mechanical arm. It's like this is like Cable and just stuff happens. He's in Peru a lot of the story, and there's a tad bit of nudity, but look up a censor thanks to Bubbles. And the best way to describe this book is, it's like, what if Cable became, what if Cable started doing stuff Punisher was known for doing, like go under countries and take out leaders in present day, mind you, and that's kind of the purpose of this book. That's kind of what Cable did here, and my guess is people were not. Yeah, the artwork is not bad per se, it just doesn't feel like Cable. I'm only reviewing this because I want to review the whole volume of Cable. That's the main reason why here. And aside from that and deal with some political stuff, it just seems odd for Cable to do this. Getting involved with people. And of course you have, let's have basically like Cable make out with a woman, which, because you read this book, like, you might be asking questions like, where's Domino? Where's X-Force? Not here. He's called by his last name McCoskey, but it's like, this feels like a it's like Cable in another universe. Because aside from Cable here, there is like no guest stars from the X-Men. Also, his virus is going to control here, per se. And basically, kind of in a way, this would later lead to issue 100, which is the last issue in here. This is set up for the end of this series. Yes. Well, the end of the first line for this series, mind you. Yeah. It's okay. I'm gonna give the book roughly basically 8 out of 10. Yeah. His name is Cable. He's a good guy. That's all you need to know. It's like somebody in Marvel Comics at this time thought as though, hey, let's make Cable like the Punisher. Well, Mike Barron's Punisher, but going outside the country. Which he did that throughout his run. Like going to a place like Peru. And just try to take on some dictator. Which I'm like, okay. Excuse me. Aside from having Irene Merriweather here, there is like no other regular character in this book aside from Cable and her. Because it seems like anybody associated with any previous run is not even here. Yeah. As for the writer himself, some of you might be thinking here, okay, did this writer do anything else besides Cable? Oh, this came out 2001. So, here's the thing about this book. Now, after this, he would do the book for 3 more issues, and then he did a one-shot for Marvel dealing with the Mutant X TV show, and that's it. That's all he did for Marvel. Why in the world he did that for, I have no freaking idea. Yeah, then he's replaced by the artist of the book, Igor Targi. Or he's from Cortea. So, what other books has he drawn aside from Cable? Well, Cable was probably the first book he did was Tales of Marvels, The Wonder Years. He did the first 2 issues of Conspiracy, the 2 issues of New X-Men. He mostly did Cable up until its final issue. He even basically drew the Soldier X book and did some drawing on Extreme X-Men Volume 1. And that's it. Yeah. They also collected some of his work from Dark Horse from the Star Wars run. Yeah, and that's basically it. It's like the only major books of Marvel was this book and Extreme X-Men. For artwork wise. For writing, it was just 104. Yep, that was the only book he ever wrote for Marvel. Before I get to play with a completely different art writer here. And yeah, unlike in the case the X-Force book, which I did like that, I was not necessarily a big fan of this stuff here for Cable. It just, for me personally, it didn't feel like Cable. There's no X-Men stuff. It felt as though this was completely out to the Marvel Universe. Heck, I think people would, if you read this book like, okay, it's like, you read this book like, wait, why doesn't the Punisher in this book? Given the style of tone of the writing here, which is fine, I don't have a problem with it. It just doesn't feel like Cable. That's the only thing with it. Yep. So yeah, this particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the dislike button. Next up, more 7 Deadly Sins. Okay, next video. Bye.